money!
What's up, guys? Man here, coming back with another video. And this one's been making the rounds here. I'm quitting Genshin, and you should too, by the Great Jpeg. And this guy gained a bunch of subscribers after this video went viral, and a bunch of really popular CCs started reacting to it. And so I wanted to take a look and see what all the fuss was about. I've been a Genshin player myself for a couple years now, and I also play Wuthering Waves, which is like sacrilege in both of those communities. But I ain't no bitch like the rest of you. I play the games that I enjoy, and y'all can suck my dick if you do not. If you have a problem with that. Anyways, yeah. So let's see what this guy has to say, and if I agree with any of it or not. And let's see if he can convince me to quit. Before we do any of that, please consider subscribing to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, let me know if you agree or disagree with me or with the Great Jpeg. All right, on with the show.
I'm quitting Genshin Impact, and you should too. I'm not saying that because I hate the game, but because the game hates me and you. I have never seen a game that doesn't want to improve or be fun more than this game does. For your reference, I have multiple games under my belt to compare Genshin to, and my experience in Genshin is that I have played every Archon quest, most of the story quests, all the hangouts, gotten to floor 12 in the Spiral Abyss, reached the highest reputation level in most of the regions, and have spent plenty of hours exploring the open world. In other words, I think I have enough experience in Genshin to criticize it, and have enough experience in other games to explain why the flaws in Genshin are so bad. So, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Before I talk about the actual gameplay, I want to talk about the community's biggest criticism about the game. The fact that you can't skip cutscenes. Genshin's cutscene presentation is shockingly bad. It was outdated the year it was released, and has not improved at all in the 6 years since. It's actually on par with Sonic Adventure from 1998. And I do mean that. The in-game cutscenes have the character models do the same stock animations. The mouth animations are not synced to match with the English dialogue or any language that isn't Chinese. They are unskippable.
It's terrible.
And every once in a while, you will get a pre-rendered cutscene that is way better animated than anything else in the game. The thing with Sonic Adventure from 1998 is that it's from 1998, and the bad cutscenes are more of a sign of its age. Genshin came out in 2020 and should be judged like the modern game that it is. Right. And for a modern game, these cutscenes...
Pardon me. All right, continue.
Suck, and the fact that I can make this comparison at all is proof of this. Even more baffling is that, like I mentioned earlier, you can't skip these. You have to look at these boring, poorly animated cutscenes for like 10,000 years because the cutscene to gameplay ratio in Genshin's main story quests is like 99% cutscene and 1% gameplay. The vast majority of games since 2010 have skippable cutscenes, so this is a reasonable complaint. Also, bit of a reminder that even heavily story-focused games like Metal Gear Solid 1 through 5 allow you to skip cutscenes, so what the hell is Genshin's excuse? Even worse is that the game is live service, and the quality has not increased whatsoever. To this day.
And that is like the biggest issue, right? Is that every 6 weeks, this game gets updated. But does it get improved? No. Shit gets added to it. The size increases. And while, yes, I still love the endgame modes, the stories, the quests, the thing about the skip button is I don't really have that big of a problem with it, only because me personally, I hate when I have to skip a quest in Wuthering Waves or whatever. And maybe if I'm, you know, running late for work or whatever, and I didn't have as much time as I thought I did, and I'm like, fuck, I need to get out of this quest, so I have to hit skip until it allows me to exit the dialogue and pause the quest or whatever. But I don't like skipping quests, so I don't have that big of a problem with it. But I understand why other people do, and it's more so the fact that they update this game every 6 weeks. They have a survey in each patch, and you know that people have been spamming these complaints for years. At the very least, since games like Wuthering Waves came out and set a precedent by adding a skip button. So there is just no excuse, as he said, for a modern game.
Genshin's cutscenes are so bad that they are beaten in terms of quality by games from 2001, which are a quarter of a century old now. Games like Halo 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sonic Adventure 2, and Mega Man X6, despite not having the best cutscene direction, are still vastly more appealing to look at than Genshin's cutscenes have and ever will be to look at. You can also skip the cutscenes in all of these games, by the way. Even other gacha games have skip buttons, so there really is just no excuse.
Right.
Like what? Can the billion-dollar company not hire more animators to help spruce up the cutscenes, or get one of the devs to add a skip button? Like, there are so many ways I can criticize the bad cutscenes. We could actually be here all day, so I should just move on. One more thing before I get to the gameplay. Genshin's size. You know Breath of the Wild. You know how it has a big open world with tons of stuff to do in it, and is only like 14.4 gigabytes? Well, as of making this video, Genshin is 174.8 gigabytes on console.
Oh my god.
Now, to be fair, Teyvat is a bigger map than Hyrule is, but even if Genshin's map was like 5 times the size of Breath of the Wild,
these games like Call of Duty that he's showing console there. I can't remember what it is. It's similar on my computer, though. I know that. It should
only be like 72 gigabytes.
Right.
A full 102.8 less than what it is now.
They need to add what
keep in mind that not only is this game going to drain your life, as I'll get into in a second, but it also wastes your precious space on your hard drive. Okay, let's actually talk about the gameplay now.
That might not be a ton, but it would at least do something.
This section really hurts to write because I can see there is a good game buried deep down in here somewhere. The actual gameplay
I don't understand that. It is a good game. I feel like this dude didn't, because this sounds like someone that's reviewing the game. When they say, I feel like there's a good game buried, that's like when you watch a review for a guy that played a game for 10 hours to give a review for, you know, Game Rant or something like that. But this is not typically what you expect to see out of someone that is giving this guy made it sound like he's been playing this game, you know, for 3 years. So let's see.
It's like this. You build a team with a maximum of 4 characters. Each character has an element, those being Anemo, Geo, Electro, Dendro, Hydro, Pyro, and Cryo, and a weapon type, those being Sword, Claymore, Spear, Catalyst, and Bow. Each character has the same basic controls, i.e. they have a normal, charged, and plunge attack, can sprint, use their character-specific elemental skill and burst, climb walls like in Breath of the Wild, and glide like in Breath of the Wild. Where each character differs is that their normal and charged attack depend on their weapon, and their character-specific elemental skill and burst will obviously inflict that character's element. So a Pyro character will set things on fire, or an Electro character will electrocute things, and mixing different elements gives you different reactions that do more damage to enemies. With the general description I just gave you of the gameplay, you might be wondering what the problems are. I mean, on paper it sounds pretty fun. Well, it's how you get characters and upgrade them where Genshin falls apart. Genshin is a gacha game, so that means using in-game currency, i.e. Primo Gems, Antiquated Fate, and Intertwined Fate, to pull on a character's banner for a chance to get them.
And this is where I can tell he's going to start losing me, because the game is fun. Unfortunately, it's a gacha game, but this guy said he's played other gacha games. So
there are 2 limited time banners with a limited time 5-star character and 3 4-star characters and a standard banner that's always available. The limited 5-star character banners are the main attraction though. By default, you have a pretty high chance of just not getting the character. It takes 90 pulls for the game to guarantee that you get a 5-star character on that banner. Now, to be fair, after like 70 pulls, your chances of getting the character do go up. Unfortunately, the 5-star character you pulled might not be the 5-star character you want.
But I have to pause here and mention that, like, this is one of the few things that Genshin has done that is a positive that they've added. Maybe one of the only recently, but this Capturing Radiance thing is pretty clutch, actually. It basically guarantees that you're not going to lose more than, I think it's more than 3 50-50s in a row. I have not lost more than 3 50-50s in a row since they added that. For reference, a few months ago, I think the streak ended a few months ago. I lost 8 50-50s in a row in Wuthering Waves. 8. Now, that was enough. As you guys know, Wuthering Waves is my favorite game. But by that 8th loss, I was so broken inside that I think I was about ready to quit the game. I wish they would add a feature like that. Continue.
Since there is a 50-50 chance the game gives you a different character than the one you wanted. And your chances for pulling a 5-star character go back to what they were originally. Because of this, it takes 180 pulls for you to get a 100% chance to receive the character you are pulling for. That's just for 5 stars. There's absolutely no guarantee for the 4 stars.
So this guy clearly has not played other gacha games. I will 100% agree that Genshin is the most predatory, although we can talk about Arknight's Enfield. But that is, Wuthering Waves has a 50-50 and it's 80 pulls instead of 90. That's the only difference there on the character side. Now, the weapon situation is totally different. That is guaranteed in Wuthering Waves. So if you want one of them, you just have to hope you get one while you're pulling.
But wait, that's not all. Each 5-star character has a 5-star weapon that they don't come with. You have to pull on a separate weapon banner that works pretty similar to the regular limited banner. Only this time, you are guaranteed to get the weapon at 160 pulls. That means, worst case scenario, you have to pull 340 times to get both the character and weapon you.
And he's not even mentioning the fact that the weapon banner, it's such a fucking dumpster fire. It actually is only a 33% chance that you get that weapon because I can't remember the math on it. It's not a 33% chance, but it's basically like 75-25 that it is a limited weapon. So there's a 25% chance that you get a standard weapon, and that's what you lose to. But then a 75% chance that it is one of the 2 limited weapons on banner. But then of that 75%, there's like a 50-50. Like if you do hit the 75, there's then a 50-50 that it is the weapon that you want and not the other character on banner's SIG weapon. So it's a mess. It's hard for people to even wrap their head around or understand it. So yeah, it's a joke.
Now, this wouldn't be that big of a problem if there were an abundance of in-game currency. There isn't. While you can get Primo Gems, Antiquated, and Intertwined Fate through normal gameplay, you really won't get that much. You get 1 Antiquated Fate for every other Ascension level one of your characters hits, get 1 Intertwined Fate per Archon quest completed, or can buy either for 160 Primo Gems, which you get for almost anything. Yeah, that's right, you only get 1 Intertwined Fate for looking at this for hours of your life per quest. Now, let's talk about Primo Gems.
The quests look better now. He's looking at the...
You get Primo Gems for pretty much anything, from opening chests to doing quests and completing achievements. For achievements, you get like 5 or 10 Primos. For doing quests, you don't get that much, and the amount you get varies. The most Primo Gems you can get for doing quests is like 50 or 60. And you get no Primo Gems at the very least.
This
and
guy
remember,
does
folks,
sound very
for the
bitter.
side quests,
It
the
makes me
presentation
wonder,
is just as bad,
has he
if
actually
not
played
worse,
other gacha
than the main
games?
story quests, because there is no voice acting. Also, special mention to the R&R quest for...
This is another thing. He has clearly not played other open world gacha games. None of them have voice acting on the side in the side quests. I think this guy is full of shit, actually. Now, are some of his points valid? Sure. But I think he lied in the outset when he said that he's played other gacha games. None of them have voice acting in their side quests. Wuthering Waves doesn't have voice acting in side quests. Neverness to Everness does not have it. Arknight's Enfield does not have it. Arknight's Enfield has a little bit of it, I think. In like certain side quests, they do. Stardive does not have it. I'm trying to think of other ones. ZZZ does not have it. HSR, I believe, does not have it. I can't say for sure. I haven't played that game at all. But, and then like broadly speaking, just video games in general, most of them don't have it. Most of them don't have voice acting in every single quest. So this guy, I'm now wondering if this guy has even played video games or if this is like the first game he's ever played.
Being 11 hours of this, that quest is single-handedly responsible for my hatred for unskippable cutscenes. I'm serious. You may think you aren't the type of person to be bothered with it,
that's so funny.
but Genshin will make you
it.
that person. But I digress. Play
But
the
I
side
enjoy
quest for
open
Primo
world
Gems at
games.
your own risk.
For chests,
I can just
the
sort of
amount
lose
also
myself.
varies, but for the most
Forget
common
about
type
all
of
my
chests,
problems.
you only get 0 to 2 Primo Gems per chest.
Can forget
Bit
about
of
my
a reminder
depression
that just
and
to
my
get
anxiety.
a 100% guarantee for a 5-star character, you need 180 pulls, and one pull costs 160 Primo Gems. So multiply 160 by 180, and you will need 28,800 Primo Gems. Great googly moogly. So, you better get out there and find as many chests as possible, pal.
Yeah.
Also, chests don't respawn, and the first two areas combined, Mondstadt and Liyue, have more chests than the Arkham games have Riddler trophies. And we're at like 7 regions now, so that number is way higher. Unfortunately, the Genshin devs didn't have the foresight the Arkham devs did. I.e., in every Arkham game, each area has its own Riddler trophy grid and marks each one you collected. The Genshin devs gave you no such thing, so you might just be wandering around looking for chests that don't exist, and you would be none the wiser. Yes, there is no way to view which chests you have and haven't gotten.
This is the thing that gets me, bro. Why are you playing this game then? Because the thing is, it is meant to be an open world exploration game where you look for treasure chests under every nook and cranny. You find, you know, the Sealies, you find fun little side quests and hidden boss battles and all kinds of fun, crazy stuff to do. You look for the Oculus. That's supposed to be enjoyable. And if it's not enjoyable to you, why the fuck are you playing it, you fucking cocksucker? God.
Zooming out will tell you what percent the local area has been explored, but that's really vague. How many chests are here? Who knows? If I'm 58% of the way there, and there are 100 chests, then I found 58 chests. If there are 20 chests here, then I found like 12. See what I mean? This percentage tells me nothing. But wait, the hypothetical audience member says, don't you know you can just craft treasure compasses to help you find treasure?
This guy is just bitter.
I know. It's helpful, but it doesn't fix the underlying problem because 1, you have to go out of your way to make one. 2,
you know, and I'm sorry for blowing up on this guy. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but this, like, listen, I don't like turn-based games. I don't like mega turn-based games like Pokemon. So I know that about myself. This would be like me going and downloading the newest Pokemon game, which I know is turn-based and I know I'm not going to like it. And then I go and I do a review and I fucking complain and bitch and whine and sound like a bitter little cocksucking baby. Now, does that serve anyone? No. I just don't think it makes any sense. And I'm not saying that like the true player base of this game shouldn't be up in arms about a lot of the things, the pull economy, the time-gated stuff, the forgery materials, the time-gated stuff. The fact that he hasn't even mentioned that either, which like that is one of the biggest things. That's one of the most predatory things this game does. But no, this bitch is whining about how the there's no way to mark your treasure chests. The whole point of the game is to explore a beautiful map. And if you don't want to do that, why the fuck are you playing an open world game? God.
The game doesn't tell you where some of the crafting materials even are, so that's even more time spent running around looking for crap. 3, you have to make one for every single region, because for some reason the Mondstadt one can't work in Fontaine. 4, it doesn't make finding treasure chests fun. It just makes treasure hunting go from running around aimlessly to just going to where the marker points you to. That's not it for ways to get Primo Gems, because upgrading each region's statue of the...
So he's not happy with he's not happy with exploring and trying on your own to find, treasure. But he also isn't happy with having a treasure compass that just tells you where it is. What the fuck do you want then, you little cunt? God. Oh man, this guy pisses me off more.
Only problem is that you only get like 60 Primo Gems per level you upgrade. And what you use to upgrade the statues, that region's Oculus, are even worse to collect than chests are. Just like chests, there's no grid telling you which ones you have and haven't gotten. And unfortunately, you have to craft a new detector for that region every time you use one to find an Oculus. Why? Oh, I know why. It's because the devs really, really want you to use real-world money to buy poles. That's why this is so poorly designed. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Now, let's say you hypothetically get enough Primo Gems to get the character you want after 180 pulls, or are lucky enough to get them before you hit that. Well,
I just
they suck because you have to upgrade them, get them a good weapon, and then upgrade that, and then give them an artifact set that's good for them, and then upgrade that, and then upgrade all of their talents. And let me tell you, it takes a lot of time and resources to get one of these guys to max.
Eating raw chicken
because
and then
the higher levels of your character equipment just guzzle down whatever resource you are using. And it takes real world days to get new ones because of the resin system. In gacha games, there's usually some sort of resource that limits the amount you can do per day. Unlike other gacha games like Zenless or Precon, Genshin doesn't allow its version of this to overflow in case you haven't played for a couple of days. So, that means once per day, you have to go farm whatever you need, run out of resin, and then wait until the next day to farm more of whatever you need. Why? Actual games don't do this, and other gacha games have a better version of this system. And whatever you need ranges from experience to level up character.
Now, a game like Wuthering Waves has the little extra thingy, but building characters ends up costing about the same as far as Mora and EXP books and all that kind of stuff in all of these games. It really is about the same. The artifact system / ecosystem, it's about the same.
There's ascension materials to ascend your characters.
I didn't think I was going to find myself defending Genshin this much, but I really just see this guy is not even looking in the right places if he wants to find legitimate criticism. He had me with the skip button. He had me there and I was on his side, and now it's completely devolved into me shouting slurs at him. And I apologize, Mr. Great Jpeg, sir. I'm sure you're a nice guy. I just think that you are misguided, and I think that you should not be playing open world gacha games if you don't like open world gacha games.
Material to ascend your weapons so you can level them up more. Artifacts you need to boost your character stats. Artifacts you don't need to level up the ones you do, and materials to upgrade your character's attacks.
Yeah, he doesn't like
this. Takes forever for one character.
It is,
let alone grinding. The 4 you have to have
it's
on
what
your
gacha
team.
Games are all
now,
about.
Keep everything I said in mind, from the gacha system to how annoying it is to get Primo Gems.
This guy should go play Arknight's Enfield and to give me a review of the factory building system, and then tell me how annoying Genshin is.
To how long it takes to get your characters to their max level, because my next complaint makes them all like 1,000 times worse. Power creep. Oh no.
Yep, this guy has not
the
played
devs
gacha
give
games.
new
He's such a
characters
liar.
mechanics that make them do more damage than older characters, and design all the updates and new endgame around
This dude
them.
absolutely
So your
lied.
old characters are worse without the devs actually nerfing them. So that means you can't just get any 5-star character. It has to be a newer one, so you can actually do damage to the newer enemies. So everything I complained about isn't something you have to deal with at the beginning of the game. It's something that plagues you throughout the entire thing. Does this sound like a fun game to you? I quit. Yeah, so
All
I
right.
quit. The game isn't fun, and as Reggie Fils-Aimé once said, if it's not fun, why bother? Now, I know for sure I'm absolutely gonna get some stupid Genshin defenders in the comments
Yep, that's
going,
me.
Actually, you quitting won't change the game. The game will only change if the Chinese fan base complains.
Hey, is
and to
that
that
racist?
I say, oh, boo.
What he just did?
What? Are you gonna do nothing with your life because the sun will explode in like 1 billion years? Sure,
Yeah.
I might not be
So
able to change the
anyways,
developers' minds or improve the state of the
My
game.
thing is,
But I can do one thing. I can at least make sure they don't succeed.
that's enough out of that asshole. Yeah. Listen, bro, I don't think that you're going to find that you enjoy any open world gacha game. I don't believe that you have played any other open world gacha game because they all are like that. And again, go play Arknight's Enfield. You will absolutely, your head will explode if Genshin was too complex for you, if the grinding was too much for you. Arknight's Enfield will absolutely make your balls blow up. So anyways, that's my review of the Great Jpeg's I Quit Genshin and You Should Quit Too. Whatever. If you want to quit, quit. If you don't want to quit, don't quit. The tribalism is really just getting, it's coming to a head. So I'm sure I'll get roasted for even bitching at this guy, but I don't give a shit. You know, I don't give a shit. Hope you all enjoyed. Have a nice day.